I refused to cook for my son's wedding reception after his fiancée told my husband I was the reason she hated family dinners. So for context, I've been doing big family dinners my entire adult life. Not like casseroles and frozen rolls from scratch. Real food. Homemade pasta, whole roasted chickens, desserts that take 2 days. It's just what I do. When my son Ethan started bringing Brooke around, I made a point of including her. I asked about what she liked, what she didn't. I remembered she hated cilantro. I found out she'd never had a real homemade birthday cake, and I made her one for her last birthday, like a full 3-layer cake with buttercream, because she'd mentioned it once in passing. I genuinely liked her. I wanted her to feel like she belonged. When they got engaged in March, Ethan called me the same night. He said they were hoping I'd cook the reception dinner as my gift to them instead of hiring a caterer. I was honestly honored. We spent 3 hours on the phone going through the menu. I started calling in favors. My friend Carol does the most incredible bread, and my neighbor Donna has been handling desserts at every major family event for 15 years. I spent probably 6 weeks after that sourcing ingredients, testing recipes, pricing everything out. My husband kept joking I'd already logged more hours than a part-time job. Then 3 weeks ago, my husband came home from lunch with Ethan and Brooke, and something was off. I know his quiet. This wasn't normal quiet. I asked what happened and he said, "I don't want to upset you," which of course immediately upset me. He told me that at lunch, Brooke had said while he was sitting right there that she was actually kind of relieved they hadn't locked in a caterer yet because she'd been wanting to revisit the whole setup. My husband asked why, and she said she'd been going back and forth on it because honestly, and I'm quoting what he told me, family dinners at Ethan's mom's are kind of a lot. Like she turns it into this whole production and it kind of stresses me out. That's honestly why I've always sort of dreaded coming over. I just don't want my wedding to feel like that. My husband said he didn't know what to say, so he just sat there. Said a caterer would probably be better anyway. Take the pressure off. I asked if Ethan said anything. My husband said Ethan kind of laughed and said, "Yeah, mom does go a little overboard sometimes." I didn't say anything that night. I sat with it for 2 days. I went back through every dinner in my head. Every dish I'd adjusted because of her preferences. Every time I'd checked in beforehand to make sure she'd have something she liked. I genuinely could not figure out what the production was. I made food. People ate it. That was the whole thing. On the 3rd day, I called Ethan. I told him I'd been thinking it over and I didn't think I was the right person to cook the reception anymore. He said immediately, "Mom, what happened?" So I told him what his dad had shared with me. He went quiet for a second, then said, "She didn't mean it like that." I asked him how she meant it. He said Brooke just gets overwhelmed sometimes and I shouldn't take it personally. I asked him directly whether he agreed with her. Did he think I made family dinners stressful? He said, "I mean, you do kind of go all out." That was it for me. I told him I thought it was best they find a caterer who could give them exactly what they wanted without any of the pressure. He said I was being dramatic. I said I didn't think I was. He said, "So you're not going to cook for my wedding because your feelings got hurt?" I told him my feelings weren't hurt. I just didn't think it made sense to spend 3 months on a gift for someone who'd been dreading my cooking for years. He said that wasn't fair. I told him I actually agreed with that. He called back 4 hours later with Brooke on the line. She said she was sorry if what she said came across wrong, that she'd been really anxious about the wedding and she never meant to hurt me. I told her I didn't have hurt feelings and I genuinely hoped they found someone great. She said, "So you're really not gonna do it?" I said no. She said, "Even knowing how much this would mean to Ethan." I said Ethan was the one who called me dramatic, so I figured he'd survive. She hasn't spoken to me in 11 days.